Hi everybody, this is Taz from Taz's Wig Closet. I'm going to do a little bit of a vlog today just to bring you up to speed on what's happening with wig videos and also my own personal experience. I got a call on July 30th from my son that's in the Air Force, my oldest son. He'll be 26 here next month. I got a call from his sergeant from the Air Force saying that he was in a really bad motorcycle accident and that he was in emergency surgery. So what a shock that was. I barely remember just throwing something in a bag and just taking off in the car and coming down. I live in Ohio. He lives in southern Georgia here, which I'm down here now. But it's about a 13 to 14 hour drive. My husband would say it depends on who's driving. But he and I both were home at the time, so we jumped in the car and came down. He was wearing a helmet, thank God, and all of the safety gear. So from head to toe, he had a moderate concussion with a traumatic brain injury. He has some cracked ribs on the left side. He has a clean break on the hip just below the head of the femur. And they had to go in and put pins in, 3 large screws actually in that hip. And then he tore away the ligaments and the muscle from the knee. So they had to go in and clean up and repair the knee. Now, luckily, based on what he went through in the accident, I think that's a miracle that he even survived it, and the injuries that he has, he can recover from for the most part, and for that I am so grateful. When we set off to come down here, we didn't really know what to expect. He was in surgery for quite a few hours. He couldn't do anything on his own. He couldn't walk. He could barely talk. He couldn't see very well. And for the first week or so, it was really hard. Now, he does still have some residual double vision we believe from the accident and the concussion, and he'll be seeing a specialist for that. But his other injuries are healing fine. Now, today is, I think, the 29th of August. So it's been a month now since this happened, and he's doing very well. But I am here staying with him full time, so I'm cooking his meals, doing all the housework, and paying the bills, making sure he gets to all of his doctor appointments and everything. My husband went back to Ohio so that he could go back to work. His doctor ordered a follow-up MRI because of the brain injury. They wanted to do a follow-up MRI other than the CAT scan that was done when they took him into the trauma unit at the hospital. This would tell them if there was residual damage from the concussion and so forth. So this was about a week after the accident that they ordered this MRI, and I took him in and he had it done. And we got a call later that day that something wasn't right, and it wasn't related to the accident. They found 4 lesions on his brain that didn't belong, and they did not think it was due to the accident based on their placement and how long they've been there and so forth. So right away they were very concerned. They sent the CD of the MRI out to a neurologist in Augusta, which is about 4.5-5 hours from here. But we got a call that said that they were very concerned that these lesions could be an infection. They could be tumors. They could be some sort of demyelination disease that's had an effect on the brain. There was a lot of different causes for such lesions. And I want to say it felt like my whole world was kind of grinding to a halt. The deepest kind of worry that a mother can feel. It was really agony, not knowing what was happening. So they had me take him to Augusta, to the Augusta University Hospital there to be evaluated by the team of neurologists, which were predicted to be very good. They did a ton of testing. They did a spinal tap. The head neurologist said that at that point they did not think it was infection, and they did not suspect that it was a cancerous tumor. So those were all great reliefs. However, what was going on was not normal, and the neurologists were in consensus that he probably has multiple sclerosis, MS, or some sort of other demyelination disease where, and I can go into this a little bit more later, but basically his own immune system would be attacking his nerves in a way that would destroy the myelin sheath around the nerves and disrupt the conduction of the nerve. And that would affect things like, you know, speech, the ability to walk, any kind of motor functions. So all of this is just, it's terribly scary and terribly shocking, especially on the heels of not knowing if he was going to survive this motorcycle accident. To be honest with you, I'm a month out and I'm looking back and it just seems like it's divinely authored. So I believe in everything has a reason, and so I'm searching for that reason. And I believe we were meant to find these things on the brain and get them investigated and try to figure out what they are and how to go forward. We are 2 weeks out now from his spinal tap test. They said it would take 2 to 3 weeks for those test results to come back. Apparently they're looking at some special proteins, and if these proteins exist inside of the spinal fluid, then that's a for sure sign that he has MS. I can't tell you how hard this has been. I think my well has run dry. I have cried. I have been angry. His unit has been very, very good. They've assisted me with him. They have just been amazing, the guys in this squadron. They've checked up on him. They've been here. I mean, he's like family to them. As heartbreaking as it is, I can now just really feel blessed that he is still here after a terrible accident that very well may have claimed his life or left him paralyzed or blind or any number of things, drastic things. But I wanted to let you know because I've not been doing videos at all for the past 4 weeks. The last video I did was on July 30th, the day that I got the call that he was in the accident. And luckily I had a lot of videos kind of in the can already edited. And so I've been kind of spreading those out on my channel so that you can have consistent content. My channel is secondary to my life, you know, my family and everything that I'm doing with my son, absolutely. But it is something that I've really enjoyed doing and I want to continue to do. My husband brought down and actually sent down a lot of different wigs that I can review, wigs that I had at home that I hadn't reviewed yet. Well, it's not the ideal setup, of course. I don't have all of my lighting that I would normally have, and it's, you know, it's a lot different, but hopefully I'll be able to produce some videos that'll be fun and distracting for me. So as soon as he can drive and get around his house safely, then I'll be able to return home. But until then, I hope you enjoy a few videos from Southern Georgia. And thank you, everybody. There's been so much prayers, so much well wishes, thoughts, positive vibes. I can just sit and soak up the love. And I gotta say, in all honesty, it bolstered me, it gave me strength, and I appreciate it so much. I love you all. See you next time.